Do you remember Faces of Death?
I remember Faces of Death, but I got to be honest, when I went to the video store, that wasn't the video I was asked for from behind the counter. I'll leave it.
He asked for the binder?
Anyway,
he asked for the binder.
You were the curtain in the back guy. Curtain in the back. What's back here? Oh, can I see?
Hey,
what's my...
I still got my Blockbuster card behind me and everything. You remember you try to cut people off at the pass, because the hot new movie was out, and you knew that all 15 copies were probably gone, but you saw someone walking in. You'd be like, hey, is that I'm drawing a blank on what Terminator, yeah. Sure, yeah, that could have been Home Alone or The Fog or some crappy movie, but you try to cut them off at the pass. That was a savvy move.
I'll do you one better. I remember this move. Oh, what's a big movie that when it came out, it was always like gone? And I remember being at I think it was TVS. I don't think it was Blockbuster. It was TVS. And the slot, people would drive by. They had the drive-by slot, boop, and they would throw it in. So I could invest. I'd invest the time.
You start fishing?
I'd sit by the slot and just hear and be like, oh. And then I'd be annoying and be like, someone around, hey, can you check? Is that, Terminator? And then they'd go and look, no. And then probably by the third one, they're like, get the hell out of here. Stop asking me. It's like, oh, yeah, buddy would pull up in his Sunfire and drop off his movie, and you were just hoping. You had to be on your game. You had to be on your game to get the right rentals. Colson, you have no idea what we're talking about. That's the beauty part of this. You never lived through the goodness.
Well, actually, my mother-in-law worked at the Blockbuster in the city, so I have heard a good number of stories.
Oh.
Did she ever bring up the annoying guy that used to sit by the slot and ask if, hey, did Showgirls get dropped in there? Or, yeah.
Showgirls, what a bad movie.
Was it?
Oh, it was terrible.
Showgirls.
Nothing beats.
Poor Jesse Spano never recovered after that one.
Nothing beats going back and renting a movie or two. Better yet, if you weren't rich, which we weren't, and for your birthday party, or my buddy's Ken, his name was Ken. And I don't know if you guys grew up with kids like this. They weren't well off. They rented a bungalow. I remember that. It had a musty smell.
Okay.
But he was like an oops. I was an oopsie too. But he was like not supposed to, and he was spoiled. But they didn't have much. Like they had a VCR way before anybody else. But they were renting a house, and like I don't know if they had a vehicle. And Ken had the video games first, and he had all the wrestlers and all this, and then it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like he's sharing a room with his sister. Like this, how do they have so much money to buy on the useless stuff? Then you get older, and you see your buddies are buying the big screen TV while you're saving for a car or a house, and it's like, oh, look at this TV I just got. But buddy, you're in your mom's basement. Maybe think mortgage at time. But anyway, the best was when you could rent a VCR. If you didn't have one, which we didn't for the longest time, you try and hook it up to the back, and it's like, oh crap, our TV's too old. How are we getting the coaxial cable? And did you ever rent a VCR?
You know what? I rented like when they were those big discs. That's even before your time, I think. Like I remember literally renting. They weren't. Yeah, they might have been laser discs, but they were before the VCR.
Beta.
No, it wasn't beta. It was like it was the size of a record. It was so bizarre.
That came after.
Yeah, that came after VCRs.
That was after?
Yeah.
Yes. No, the one, anyway, it was the size of a record was the Laserdisc?
Oh, yeah. They're huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I remember two of the major purchases for my family. Like, they weren't major purchases. They were expensive, but I remember there being considerable debate between my mom and dad. We were pretty middle class. One was a VCR, because like I don't remember what the real dollars were, but it seemed in my mind they were about $700 in today's dollars. So that was a big nut. It probably was. It was probably $80. But and then the other one was a microwave, and we were terrified. When the microwave went on, you would, for the first little while, we would leave the room. Like you'd push the button, and then we didn't want anyone to get any microwaves in their brain, so you had to leave the room.
Yeah.
and everyone was terrified. We kept reiterating every day, remember, no metal, no forks, no knives in there. Like now it's like, might be the most useful piece in our, although the fryers, the air fryers now are kind of taken over, but microwave was a big deal.
The text messages are coming in like crazy. This is the beauty part of it. Who cares about sports? Let's talk about stuff like this. The microwave thing, I remember the old wives' tale that if you got a neon light and you put it by the microwave and it lit up, that means it was leaking. So that's why we all stood back like it was Chernobyl. It was like, what is this thing? And then, so Brent texted in from Saskatoon, Blu-ray.
No, so
was the big disc. No, I remember
Laserdiscs were the size of the records. When Blu-ray came out, it was the fight between HD DVD and Blu-ray, and that's why I got a PlayStation 3, because it came with a built-in Blu-ray player.
Oh, Mooseman?
Oh,
did you buy it at the...
No, I had someone pick it up in Moose Jaw for me.
Yeah. Here, I can't say, like, we had a microwave late. I know that. We had a VCR really late, because I remember the cord. It was, like, not even, like, the remote. But one thing, my dad's business was, like, easy come, easy go, how he made his money. So sometimes it was like, whoa. And then other times it was like, I don't know, eat bread, and that's all you got. We had a satellite dish. And the original,
the big one,
where the original, you had to go outside and crank it, and then someone had to yell from the basement, "Yeah, it's good." And then it was like F4. Yep. So in my mom's basement, we still have the made up thing that my one sister made, where it has the channels. Okay, Much Music is on A or W5. W5 was a hot one. I remember that. And then there was the channels that I wasn't allowed to watch as a kid. And then I remember the day we got where you didn't have to go outside and wind it. I must have been like 7 years old. And it would do it on its own.
You got the rotation box.
And my dad had this guy come and install it. And my dad is a lot like me. If my wife's listening here right now, she's laughing. I can't fix anything properly or well. I'm not good with tools. Sorry. You want lifting guy? I'm lifting guy. Or clean up guy? I'm clean up guy. But my dad and this guy put this thing together on the back of the satellite. I remember it like it was this box, and it was like all duct taped and then electric taped up. And I was like, and now I'm looking at that is something Barney would do. They never got it done professionally. They just hacked it together. But a satellite dish, you were a baller. You were a baller.
Wow. I still, you remember the Gerald 400? That was like the original converter for your TV, but it was on a cord, and it was all push button, click, click.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal who controlled the Gerald 400. And then the last thing, I know we should move on to something in the last 40 years. What is the over-under on the age for someone who would understand when I say, please be kind, rewind?
Child of the age.
Like, do we even have to explain what that means?
38?
Probably.
Over under? I'd go under 38.
Yeah, like if you're under 38, you don't understand. If you were to rent something from Blockbuster and that video wasn't completely rewound, or someone left it right near the end, it could ruin your whole night. It could ruin your week. You know, like near the end of Officer to Gentleman or something, and all of a sudden you find out what really happens.
Yeah. And then, oh man, last thing on the satellite thing. These memories are flowing back now, man. My dad, the hockey games on there, like, and he'd go by the catalog from the Book Nook on 8th Street, and it was this big, and it'd be like Flyers, Rangers, and you'd go to W5, and then the game there was no commercials. Right? So the guys would be like, all right, I'm going to take a leak, Jim. And it was like the guys talking, and sometimes they would swear and all that because there was no commercials. And you know whose parents would come over in our basement and watch their son play early in his NHL career, because he worked for my dad one summer? Dave Brown. Dave Brown worked for my dad, and then his parents, they were friends. So they would come over and watch Doug's Cooperalls. I remember the Cooperall days. They would come over and watch Flyer games with Dave Brown. That's it. All right, Eric. Have a good weekend.
Hey, boys. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. That Macklin Celebrini move last night, it is my clutch performer coming up in a bit here, where he gets high stick. It's not really a high stick, though. His head jerks back, and then the ref pull. If anyone didn't see it out there, I'm painting the picture. His head jerks back. It's Ekholm, I think. And then the ref calls a penalty, but then Celebrini skates to the ref. Is like, no. I didn't get hit. I remember that happening a few years ago for some reason, Eric, but talk about how many fans did that kid gain yesterday on this move?
Absolutely. You know, like Brady Tkachuk did that earlier this year, and they actually overturned the call. And you love that. I love Brady Tkachuk's one of my favorite players because of stuff like that. But Celebrini, you know, I sat in his hotel with him today for a one-on-one just to talk about the Olympics and for a feature I'm writing to setting up the Olympics, and just to spend time alone with this kid. We are in good hands in our nation with this kid as our future star on and off the ice. Like, you know, we're lucky we've had Sidney Crosby all these years as a guy who, you know what I always said about Gretzky too, you know, there's a guy who, you know, will never embarrass your team, your country, or your sport. I've always said that about Gretzky, and it's the same standard I would hold to Sidney Crosby. I mean, hey, if a guy's wife gambled on sports, that's a different thing. That doesn't count. But with Celebrini, there's no way I could ever see him embarrassing him any of those three things. And he's humble. Like I literally said to him, I said, look, I know you're as humble as they come. Can I just ask, is there one thing that you can say, and it's not bragging, but that you're really good at? Like, just admit to one thing. Maybe you can make a great grilled cheese. And he said, actually, I make great banana bread. And he goes, no, I can't take credit for that. That's my mom's recipe. And like, this is the kind of guy he is. And then he says, actually, it's going to sound weird, but the one thing I think I'm really good at is keeping my house really tidy. And he goes, my mom taught me that too. And I'm just like, when a guy talks like about his mom like that, you want to hug him. And when he pulls a move like that in the game, and is immediately, like his head did snap back, but that was just a reaction. Like it wasn't a big fake job like a lot of guys will do and play it up. It was a natural reaction, and he immediately waves to the ref. No. Don't call a penalty. No, it's not a penalty. And I agree with you. That's as classy and as cool a move as I've seen in the NHL this year. That and Brady Tkachuk did the same thing.
Well, give us a preview. How is he looking forward to the Olympics? Like, this is a big deal for a kid his age.
Oh my God. Well, I said, did you get your Lululemon stuff yet? Like, because I feel like that would be the moment, right? It comes in the mail, and you open it up.
Lululemon.
How about throwing the jersey on? Eric's going, no, when you get your yoga pants.
Yeah.
No, they're not the yoga pants. It's just, that's the official outfitter of the Team Canada. So the package comes, and he's like, oh, I didn't order anything from Lulu this week. What's this? And you open it up, and it says Team Canada Olympics on it. Like, that would be a moment to me. I don't know. I probably will never participate in the Olympics, but I can only imagine that is, I mean, that said, I've always said I could have been on the national après-ski team. Like, I think I could have done it if I really worked a little harder.
The what?
The after-ski. The après-ski.
Oh.
The après-ski, like that moment when you take off those crappy boots and your feet feel so much freer, and you order that hot toddy or rum and coke. That is national. I'm pretty good at that. But anyway, he got the Lulu stuff, and then he got an Olympic jersey with his name on it, and he said that was a moment that I can't ever, I'll never forget. And it's funny, when they called him on the morning to tell him he was on the team, and whole country was debating whether he was going to make it or not. And I think most of us realized he was going to make it. He certainly deserves it. He missed the call. He was getting ready to go to the rink. They had an afternoon game, and he missed the call. Can you imagine the horror when he looked down? It says Doug Armstrong, called, and he's like, oh my God. So he called him right back, and he got the good news. But yeah, he's looking forward to learning, and that's another sign of what this key says. I just can't wait to see how I stack up against the pace and all the best players in the world. I'm like, dude, like, you are the pace. You are one of the best players in the world, but he's never going to admit that. And that's where the Sidney Crosby comparisons are bang on with this kid in every way.
I thought you were going to say he missed the call because he was making banana bread. I did. I seriously thought that's what you were going to say.
Imagine missing that call. Yeah, imagine missing that call, and then he calls him back, and they're going, "Oh, sorry, we moved on."
Oh. Yeah, and that would be your first thought, like, oh my god, it was close, and all things being equal, if I'm not punctual and I don't answer the phone when I'm called, maybe that hurts.
But Bedard picked up and you didn't, so we're going with him.
I have to admit, yesterday, kind of cheated on you. Had Darren Dreger on from McNutt, Saskatchewan, Langenberg guy. He says, I asked him about the Sharks and kind of maybe what moves they make, because they're in a position here, which no one would have thought, like my Patriots, right? They're in a position. He thinks possibility that they take a long, hard look. Mike Greer takes a long, hard look at Panarin. You got anything from since the Sharks are close by you there?
Yeah, and I have heard that connection, and I certainly think there's smoke there. Of course, you're going to make the phone call and find out. In terms of timelines, to me, it doesn't make sense. Panarin wants a contract that's going to take him into his 40s, and it's kind of like the Rasmus Anderson situation here. Like, yeah, of course you'd like to keep him. Of course he was their best player, but just the timelines didn't match up. The San Jose right now is not just trying to make it into the playoffs this year. They're trying to make it in for the next 10 years. And with some of the youngsters they have, that's a very real possibility. This Will Smith that's on Celebrini's line is a player. So is Colin Graff. He's also on their line. And, of course, Michael Misa. Like, there's 4 right there, 4 studs. That's 4 more studs than the Calgary Flames have and most teams in the league. So I just don't know if that's the kind of guy you want to tag on. You're going to have to start signing those other guys for a lot of money in the next 2 or 3 years. So I wouldn't touch Panarin, but I understand you would kick the tires. That's what a good GM does.
I'm reading some of these text messages. People want, they love the satellite and VCR talk. I think that's all they want. Like, we could be 2 of the biggest, when we're in Vegas together, we're going to Vegas at the same time. We're going to end up having a few cocktails and talking about the dumbest crap, and people around us are going to be like, what are these idiots talking about?
Oh my God. Did you ever ride a BMX bike?
Yeah, I had one stolen. It broke my heart.
Oh, that would have crushed someone with the number plate and everything?
Exactly. And the donuts and the mushrooms and whatever, the trick bag. Dummy, I took brand new trick pegs because I thought I was deadly to the swimming pool and locked up my bike, came out of that swimming pool, trick pegs gone.
No.
Yeah, Riversdale Pool. And anybody from Saskatoon is like, I grew up a block away from there. Dummy.
Did it have the chromoly wings, the chromoly rims? Like, I had all the gear.
I had a Norco from Walter Cycle. It wasn't great. I didn't have a Kuahara or, what was...
Diamondback tires.
Diamondback. Man, those were nice, but there was one more. Kuahara, Diamondback. It's a short name.
Mongoose, was it?
No, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Hara? Started with an H.
Harakua? Oh, yeah. Anyway.
What? I can't believe we're on the air right now talking about this. This is so good.
Anyway, I just thought since we're tripping around those years, we should
Did you ever have a BMX? Yes, me. I'm telling you. Okay, but anyway, hockey aside, next week the Olympics starts, and this is brought to you by Sports Select. Eric, go to sportselect.com. I was talking about this yesterday. Under futures, you can bet on some of the Olympic sports that you would have never thought. The one I'm looking at now, Colson, you can bet on who's going to win the 10-kilometer freestyle cross-country race, men's and women. Think about it. You place a wager on it, and you sit and watch cross-country skiing for 4 hours. I don't know, how long does it take them to go? Colson, how long does it take someone to go around a 10-kilometer freestyle cross-country track? But look at the value you can get on some of these people, Eric. Why wouldn't you take a stab at 81 to odd on Edvin Anger? Just with the name alone.
Well,
RC Ruskinen, he's got to be from Finland.
Yeah, I'd go off the board. Is there a Bjornsson in the race? That's who I'd bet on. I don't even know. That sounds like someone who could win.
We got a
like
Berglund.
That.
Berglund is paying.
We got a Barb.
Gustav Berglund pays 200 to 1 to win the men's 1,000 kilometer freestyle winter at the Olympics.
My God, I love it.
I know. Okay.
So yeah, we'll talk Wednesday. I'm taking a little Olympic break, so I don't know what days we're going to talk next week and the week after. But between golf rounds, I'll find a way to chat with you because I always love our chats, and I got to get caught up on the latest in technology. That's what we always kind of.
Well, you better let me know because I'm planning out the week already next week. I'm not here Friday.
Okay, we'll exchange.
Okay.
I'll send you some snail mail and
got a pigeon?
express post.
Great idea. I'm going to try and find a couple of BMXs for us to rent in Vegas and go up and down the strip. Just one twirl. 2 old men on BMXs.
I feel like a bunny hop now would ruin my spine for the rest of my life.
An
A wheelie
endo?
or a bunny hop would be the end of me.
I'll do an endo and keep going.
Not that I need to add anything to this, but have you guys heard of the Shaker Hills Country Club in Harvard, Massachusetts?
No.
Golf course. And I feel like this is right up your alley, and this is going to be my clutch perform today. They have a drive-through golf cart bar.
I've seen these before.
I've seen this.
Oh,
What's that course in Idaho that all the ballers play? All
Coeur
the NHL
d'Alene?
guys. No.
yeah, the Gretzky. Yeah, I know
Gaza
the one,
Ranch. Gaza Ranch.
Gaza Ranch. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm off to. My boss isn't listening right now, right? I'm off to Mexico
probably.
during the Olympic break, and in Cabo. This was new to me last year when I was there. They have comfort stations, and they have 4 of them at pretty much every course. So you hit them every 3 or 4 holes. And in most of the courses, like the green fees are like $500 US anyway. So to sit here and say everything's free is really a facade. But you go into these things, and there's ladies making like fresh carnitas and tacos, and it's unlimited booze and food and candy. It's the greatest concept in golf.
Cabo del Sol was the course I played. That was like mind blowing. But still, nothing like doing an endo on the strip in Vegas in April.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a wild ride.
And slight correction to what I said. The greatest concept in golf is not the comfort station; it's the breakfast ball.
Yeah.
And the mulligan.
Seriously, text me tonight, please.
gimme.
Let me know what days work. All right. Be kind. Rewind.
Okay.
Talk to you next week.
Later, Skater.